Starting Solar in the top left. Going up against Trap in the bottom right. This is a best of 3. 2 of the best to ever do it going at it on Oceanborn here. Trap going to throw down that pylon and do his scout. Hasn't been looking to block the natural hatcheries. Instead, getting there slightly after. And, yeah, looks like he is going to go ahead and throw that hatchery down very, very quickly. Oh, I guess maybe... I must have missed that. Did he actually send that early? Was that like a 12 pylon? I'm sorry. Because I'm pretty sure Solar went for a slightly quicker hatchery to make sure he got it. I think that might have been 12. I'll pay attention in the next game because he'll probably do it again. But basically, if you want to block the hatchery, you have to send a probe before it's time to make a pylon. When you send a probe, make the pylon and send it, it never blocks. But that looked like it was going to block, and Solar held money back. He was like 14 of 22 there, so I think it might have been. Anyways, I'll pay attention on game 2 for that portion of the opening. I always find things like that fascinating. I love... This is one of my favorite things in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. Is I just love to see the small changes to the very opening steps of build orders and how that reverberates throughout the game. I absolutely love that, and it's one of the more important things too. It's honestly one of the things that I work the hardest on in my own games is to try to have very clean, very good openings and understand exactly what every little detail does in the early game. It's, yeah, it's cool. I enjoy that aspect. So, Adept on the way. Should see a Stargate getting started here. There it is. And then, relatively soon here, we should see Solar thinking about a third base. Going to send his couple Lings up, chase this probe away. And a drone coming up right thereafter. All right, so everything looking pretty normal on both sides. I'm trying to keep his Lings back a little bit so no Adepts can just suddenly walk in and ruin his day. Doesn't want to overcommit on that probe. Trap wants him to. It's not going to happen, though. So, double Adept, waiting for a moment. We'll see if he actually dives in with these or not. Sends the Shade, walks towards that third. You can definitely see better defense here than what Pig had, right? Like, he's keeping these right up there, so it's like, okay, are you really going to commit the Shade in? And if you do, it has to go pretty far, right? Like, you're going to be pretty far from a mineral line, very likely. Oracle flies in, pushed back. All the queens in great locations. Little bit of a Ling counterattack here at the third, so that's nice. Oracle's about to come out, so he's not going to lose the Nexus, but that is very annoying. Yeah, just barely. Just barely. All right, actually finishes the Shade there, but Shade's into a couple queens. Good pull there from Solar. Keeping those drones alive. All right, Shade's up, but yeah, not going to get as many as maybe he was looking for there. 3 drones total. Ooh, there you go. There's the money. 6 drones. Oh, a nice little surround. Yeah, I think that's smart to just kill that straight up. Pulls back with those Lings. Double Oracle. Gonna fly in. 1 back home at defense still. Yeah, you can... Like, to the guy in the chat that was asking about how do you block this type of play, because we saw Pig just take massive amounts of damage. You can see here, right? Like Solar, he's so on top of moving the drones. The queens are going back and forth. They're zoning everything out. They're ready to put the damage down. You can just see crisper placements, faster reactions, that type of thing. It's a little damage on the hatchery. It's kind of an interesting choice. Flies into the third, but you can see just how quick he is with that. Still zaps 3 drones on the way by. Nice. Yeah, forces him to turn on the Oracle and then runs. Loses quite a few lings there, not really doing too much. All right, flying in for a little bit more harassment there. 4 more drones going to fly out. Sees that tech as well. Yeah, it looks like he probably wants to go towards lurkers. I mean, if you're seeing a infestation pen Hydra Den at the same time, kind of makes sense. Psystorm coming up for trap. Always loves his storms. 4th Nexus as well. Hive gets started pretty quickly here. I think we'll see that Lurker Den coming up next. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, Solar is trying to get up into Lurkers. And, you know, obviously Lurkers give you this unbelievable cost efficiency and unbelievably great defense. We'll see how Trap wants to play against that, right? Is he going to transition into Air Toss? Will he just try to outmaneuver before the lurker counts get too high? It's really hard to say. All right, there are a few different ways that you can play it. I think it's smart to try outmaneuvering a little bit while prepping Air Toss. Because you definitely do want to get into Air Toss. Because if they get a lot of Lurker Hydra and you're still just trying to play like a mobile ground army, it can turn pretty quick to the Zerg player, I think. You got to kind of force them to do other things with it. Yeah, and there it is, the Fleet Beacon. Got to force them with that. Should start as +1 air attack as well. Damn. Just picking up drones left and right. Almost gets another one there, too. So lurkers on the way. Lurker upgrades as well. Adrenal for the Lings. Still no air attack. Is he just going for a mothership? Like, air attack is so cheap, man. Just get it. Just get air attack. There is the mothership, but like, again, you have a fleet beacon, you have a Stargate. Yeah, you're getting the mothership, and yeah, the mothership will be useful. I think it's a good solid unit still. But like, I want to see air attack start. It's so cheap. So Solar sees, he knows that a mothership's going to be coming. Damn, super hidden. 2 Stargates on the way. Still no air attack. Killing me, Trap. There it is. That's... Dude, it could be done by now. He could be starting +2 air attack. Seriously. If you're going to start a fleet beacon, just start it. And honestly, once you get 4 bases, just fucking start it. It's just... The attack upgrades are just too good for carriers. And if you happen to need anything else, then there you go. Yeah, decent surround there. Sacrificing some of his supply. Honestly, this was a good usage of the Ling Roach. Not bad. Not bad. Now look at this army. Moving up into position. Has a lot of Psy Storms in here. Got to be careful about those Lurker Spines, though. Mothership actually going out to meet with that army now. The heavy Lurker coming down for this attack. Yeah, Solar looking very sharp. Looking very good right now. Dude, that is a lot of damage. Solar just eradicating this third base. And he's just zoning everything out as well. You know, Trap didn't really put a lot of pressure onto Solar. Obviously, Solar's defense was very good throughout. He was going carriers, but it was like almost kind of slow. So he wasn't able to really... Well, I guess he technically got him quickly enough that he's not going to lose his third base. But he took a lot of damage. 20 probes gone. He's down 50 supply. Definitely not feeling very good. All right, some good storms going down. Really, you just have to worry about the Hydras right now. Run away from the Lurkers. If you soften up those Hydras, just makes it easier for your carriers. Oh, walks right into the photon cannons. Doesn't care even a little bit. Fourth base in some trouble. Killing a few of the probes off there as well. Yeah, it seems to me like we're watching Trap get a little bit outclassed right now. Yeah, now the Hydra's coming over. Ooh, powers down that mothership so quickly. Tried to run out of there. The mothership has had some buffs to try to be able to get away from stuff like that, but obviously not working out here. Carriers dealing some pretty heavy damage. You definitely need those Psy Storms as well, though. Some good Zealot harassment. More Immortals being added in. Don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this is going to switch over to more air heavy. Like, yeah, maybe the Immortals do enough tanking here to really make sense, but it feels weird to see the Immortals. I don't feel like those are particularly helpful here. Yeah, see, now Corruptors being added in. This is kind of what I would expect from Zerg, right? Like, you can counter the Hydras, the carriers at first with the Hydras, but eventually you do want to get into Corruptor. And now that he's going Corruptor and, like, Trap is still pumping out, like, he's not really making more air units, right? Well, he doesn't have a lot of money, so I guess we don't know exactly what he wants to make. But, like, spending money on those Immortals, it just doesn't feel like that's going to be very impactful. We shall see, though. Some more Archons being added in. Definitely going to be very helpful against those Corruptors. Ooh! Very faulty blink forward. Yeah, can't really attack there. Corruptors coming in from the side. Dude, I gotta say, I really... It feels to me here what I'm watching is, like, Solar very much outclassing Trap. Now, obviously, Trap came out of the military recently. Solar's been peaking now for a bit. He's really been having the best runs of his life for the last couple of years, right? I guess since SSL days, at least. Well, even better than back then. But, yeah, Trap just... It seems like Trap is a step behind Solar here. Really felt that way for basically the whole game. And, well, I mean, it's a good attack, but yeah. Okay, the recall is not a terrible idea, and he actually has one High Templar here that stormed her in it. But there's no way for Trap to get up to the army that he needs at this point. He did make a few Void Rays, which is interesting. Oof. All right, good feedback. I believe it's only 3 Void Rays, so I don't think it's going to make any real difference here. Well, especially not if it goes down like that. Yeah, that's going to be game. Should be seeing GG here from Trap. There you go. Solar takes game 1.
Filled Hole Just resubscribed for 7 months. I love you, Artosis. You don't have to love me back, but I will always love you.
Thanks, Filled Hole.
Vegetace Kingsley Princey asked me, why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why does Marge sound like a man? Does Marge sound like a man? Why answer like a socialist? Please. Oh dear. You see, comrade in a just and equitable society, Marge's voice is a manifestation of the collective struggle against the bourgeois constraints of gender norms. The proletariat must rise above such trivial distinctions to focus on the core tenets of equality and unity. So whether my voice is perceived as masculine or feminine, the real issue is dismantling capitalist systems that perpetuate such binary divisions.
On to game number 2. Solar versus Trap. And here we go. Oh, I said I was going to pay attention to the probe, and then I was paying attention to a terrible dono. Oops. Anyways, probe gets up here, and, you know, this is the early game of PvZ in StarCraft 2, so gotta wait for the Nexus to start, Cybernex core to finish, Stargate to start, Stargate to finish, Oracle to come out, and as the Oracle's building, the 2 Adepts will be walking around trying to get something. So that's generally the flow of early game PvZ. Few minutes to go before we hit there. Hope that you guys are enjoying here tonight. Please do make sure you follow the channel. We cast this cup every week. Well, last 3 weeks we didn't because me and Mapu were both busy on separate days. But yeah, normally we do cast the StarCraft 2 cup. Always enjoy it. I've heard that one of the best ways to enjoy it is to just turn off the chat, fast-paced toxicity, and all that. So, the Cybernetic score about halfway done. And we wait. We wait. There's the Adept, and now here's the Stargate. Right now. There it is. And Warp Gate. Right now. Right now. There you go. A little bit slow there by Trap. I was actually right. He was wrong. And, yeah, the probe actually gets out. I can't even believe that. I think he must have thought he killed it. That happens sometimes where you expect the hit to happen and then just barely doesn't. Ooh, good catch there. A little bit wasteful here from Trap. He might be feeling after that last game like he needs to take a bigger risk. Oh, I wish he had canceled that, actually. That looked like he could have maybe gotten a drone or two up there. Anyways, he might feel like he needs to play a little bit more risky, so he takes a lot of damage on that initial Adept. Double Adept walking forward. Not too likely to find anything here, I think. Gotta wait for that Oracle. Oracle pops, but waits. What is this guy doing? It's interesting that he's held the Oracle back. Ah, to kill the Overlord. Okay. I was like, you know, we had times where there was meta to hold Oracles back, and your opponent, sometimes you get them to like cancel spores or something like that. That's not going to be the case. Just holding it back to kill that Overlord. Just had it in the wrong place for a moment when we were looking at it. Now Oracle flying over, seeing what he can get. All right, the Oracle's not having a very good go of it right now. Ooh, oh, man. The Solar pretty fast right there. Really not taking damage so far. Look at that. 3 Lings and an Overlord dead, and that's it. That's a pretty big advantage to Zerg. Like, you need to get more than that. All right, a couple, but he's taken big hull damage on both Oracles and one of his Adepts. So 2 drones is below what you're looking for sure. So really checking, like he's shading in and canceling, like kind of checking to see if there's a place he can finish and maybe, you know, get a little bit of damage in there, but I don't see it. Like, Solar is very on top of everything. Trap gonna try again, but again, like I don't think that there's a spot for him here. That would have gotten him probably 3-4 drones, but probably would have lost everything. So maybe better just keep it for now. He does have a blink +1, a bunch of gates on the way. Lings with a little bit of a run through. Don't really try to commit to anything damage-wise. All right, now here comes the first real dedicated attack. Now, he's kept these Adepts alive the whole time, which kind of makes this a more interesting puzzle, I guess. It's like a... You don't normally see the Adepts still alive at this time with those Stalkers like that. So they're going to be able to tank in the front a little bit. Ooh, good targeting on that Oracle. Setting up a Stasis Ward. You know, he did see that, though. All right, continuing to push forward. All right, continuing forward here with these Stalkers. A little bit of a Ling counterattack. You know, pretty heavy 3-base play here from Trap, and he is going to be able to get that hatch. So that's a pretty solid kill, right? Gets rid of his 4th. There is a new 4th on the way up at 12 o'clock. But he is running, like, pretty much all the way home. Okay, turns, fights for a moment. This blink is finished. The cooldown, rather. Yeah, Solar chasing him back pretty efficiently. Charge on the way, +2 Storm Immortals. over on Solar's side. Hive coming up. Not exactly sure what the plan is with the Hive. Like, is he looking to get some Vipers? He's getting +2 melee. Is there a world in which he might go Ultra? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's no Spire, so nothing like that. Starts the Hydra Den now.
X300, can we skip and get to Brood War now? I think we have seen enough for this week.
Yeah, not enough. Not enough. Thank you, though. Thank you for your opinion there. Now, you know, he's got a lot of size from here, and there's a lot of lings there. So, Trap can take a pretty decent engagement, I think. Yeah, nice storm there. Really thins out those lings a bit. All right, continuing to push in. The 3 Immortals going to add a huge amount of damage here as well. Really good push from Trap. Trap does have a 4th base coming up, by the way. Almost done right now. Really continuing that pressure forward. GG. And it is tied up 1-1.
Fresh Life just resubscribed for 3 months. Hi, Artosis.
Sup, Fresh Life. Thank you. Was it Viper's Malice that told me about this stuff? It's been helping. I casted a lot today. When I saw Flashes back. Holy shit. I've casted a lot today. My voice is starting to go out. It's like Propolis or whatever. Green screen's picking it up because it's yellow. Propolis throat spray. Throat spray.
CD-ROM just resubscribed for 13 months.
Thank you, C-ROM. All right, guys, we're going into game number 3. All right, we're on Ghost River. In the top left, we have Solar. And in the top right, we've Trap. So it's a 13 pylon instead of a 14 pylon. I guess that makes it a little bit quicker. See if he's able to block this. But we just have see a 14 of 22 hatch. No, he's going to get there in time to block. Yep. Solar just has to bend out there. He was just going to be shy. Just shy on his minerals. So this might set up Trap for a bit more harassment damage this time. And hopefully so, because he's had a hard time getting drone kills against Solar in this early game. You know, the push that he did with the additional adepts in it where he got the hatchery, that was kind of the interesting point where he was able to get the advantage that allowed him to push into a victory a little bit later. Yeah, it is 1-1 right now. Just, I realize it says 0-0 at the second. Mapu will probably remember and put that up. But, yeah. Once again, our wonderful observer here today is Mapu. Check him out. Give him some love. Use the command Mapu in chat. Follow all of his stuff. He does all the observing here on this channel. And we are going to have that Cybernetics Core finish up. So let's go ahead, start that Stargate. Third base should get started here pretty soon for Solar. course, it's going to be at his natural. Ooh! Depths are coming out right now. So he does turn around. A little bit afraid of that, it seems. Chases down that Ling. All right, so we're getting up to the moment, guys, where a lot of the pacing of this game is going to be decided. Okay, the 2 adepts come out, and let's see. Okay, you know what? That's very nice. I love that tumor kill, because this is where the drones are at this 3rd base, right? So he's going to stop the creep from being extended towards the natural for now. It's a very nice denial. Look at this. 3 drone kills and some Lings. Really, really reasonable, I think. You know, I think 4 is right where you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. And 3 is more of a borderline, but I think that was a good one. Based on what the other 2 harassments looked like, I think that was pretty reasonable. Now let's see if the oracles can do anything. Same type of attack we saw before. That oracle should be able to send those away just in time. Save that nexus. Third oracle coming out. This oracle comes up to join. Lings did poke into that 3rd base again for trap. Doesn't really find anything though. Hey, there you go. There you go. Much better harassment than what we've seen. Almost loses that oracle, but does keep it alive. That's what counts. All right, now the split up of the adepts. Look at this. Comes in, and how are the other 2 doing, I wonder? Right, because he split them off. Oh, he canceled the other 2. Okay. I actually thought he was going to try to finish both at the same time. Can be a little bit hard to control those, right? If there's a queen or anything there, their attack priority is going to probably go towards that more often. I guess you could hold position, but yeah, a little bit hard. All right, nice links around here on 2 stalkers. Really annoying. He's going to lose both of them. Very, very good pick off there by Solar. These little things do make quite a difference. Now, double oracle going to fly in. That 3rd base, pretty well defended. Ooh, loses the oracle. Overextension there by trap for sure. Another Shaden. Wow. The harassment, like, Trap really stepping it up. Solar not expecting some of these later Shadens. Blink and +1 going to be finished here pretty shortly. Now, where are you attacking into? I'd imagine the 3rd base. Maybe up that ramp between the natural and 3rd base is the best place. But I think I see where the warpins are going to be in the center, so that does look like he's going towards the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Those were the oracles. I don't know why I thought that was something else. Anyways, he does go towards that ramp between the natural and 3rd. Little Ling counterattack coming up. Okay, so this attack coming in, like the counter attack, I don't quite get. It's not really going to do anything. I guess those lings won't add a lot to this army, but Trap is actually doing a pretty darn good job with this, I think. This is kind of scary right now. There's not that many roaches. There is a spire on the way. I do think that that's going to be for corruptors again for a little bit later. And now Trap is actually just backing up. Okay. Actually, not what I expected to see, but I think he might just want the Colossi to join him now. There's, you know, a higher Ling contingent here than I think he really wants to fight against right now. And the Colossi are going to do pretty well against that. It's a beautiful river. I would drink out of that river. Blast River. 15 mutas. Ooh, I love it. I love muta-based play in this matchup. I really do. I'm a huge fan. Very, very tactical. It's not too often that you can just overwhelm. Sometimes against Blink Stalkers you can if you go Banelings with it. In this particular case, it is mostly Lings, but actually quite a few mutas going to be coming out. This is going to be really interesting. Now, Muta games against the Blinkstalker Colossi Ball can turn into base trades very, very quickly. I don't know if that's what Solar wants here. Oh, God. Very bad engage for Solar there. Now, the Mutas fly in, and Trap has to counterattack. He can't go back to clear this. If he goes back to clear the Mutas, he loses this game. He needs to counterattack right now. Now, that's a great catch. That's a great catch. Didn't use a drill there, so that's unfortunate. All the probes die very quickly. The Roach is going towards the main base. Dude, he's going after the shield batteries right now. Oh, man, he's going to pick off those High Templars before they can become an Archon. But this is that base trade I was talking about, right? Like, if you go heavy mutas against Blink, Stalker, Colossus, it almost always turns into a base trade. Now, who's better off in this base trade? Now, that's the real question that we got to look at here. I gotta say, I actually think Solar's better off. Like, he's killing all the bases a little bit quicker. Like, if you have one base left over and you killed your opponent's bases, you win, right? Most of the time, at least. And I think his Mutaball is actually big enough to kill basically everything. If there was 2-3 Archons with this army, I would change my opinion, but it's just Blinkstalkers. So you can actually get enough Mutas to beat that for sure. And I believe he actually has it. Ooh, nice catch there on one of the mutas, trying to rally out. Now, what is that mutalist count? Yeah, with this many roaches and lings coming back as well. Now, maybe as Trap you can recall. Could you recall? No, because he's got too big an army to recall. He'd leave part of his army. It might be better to just fight. I don't know. That's a hard one. Now, it looks like he wants to come out. Yeah, another hatchery on the way there. Is there a world in which he can blink out of the main? He's got Colossus blink, right? Like, he doesn't have to go down ramps. Any Reaver jump up point is somewhere that you can fly up. Oh, nice pick. There is an Archon in there. The cannons don't actually matter that much. They're not that scary for the mutas. Okay. Yeah, he needs to do something. He can't just sit like that, I think. Or can he? Oh, dude. Trap is a trillion IQ. He loaded up because he knew his army was too big to recall the whole thing. The recall radius is very tight. That was some fucking gigabrain stuff there. StarCraft 1 Protoss never would have figured that out. All right. Now, Trap has successfully gotten his army out of there. This is a pretty well-defended base. He doesn't have a lot of probes. Ooh, 2 Mutapix. Very nice. Phoenix on the way. This is a wild game 3, man. This is a great game 3. Muta's coming in with some very good harassment damage. The Phoenixes are going to be a problem because there's not a lot to do here. I'm not always a big fan of low numbers of Phoenixes to try to counter Mutas because it's so APM intensive, it's so attention intensive that it feels like the Muta player can outplay you very quickly. But here there's nothing to do, right? Both of them have like nothing going on. So you can clicky, many clicks, many so clicks. I'm so good at this game clicks with these Phoenixes and just fucking abuse. Like these Mutas, do you see how they just have to fly away because he's willing to just sit there and stare at the 3 units and only micro them as if he's a MOBA player? Ooh, that would be a sick pickoff. Oh, should he have dived on that? No, I guess not. Everything's right there. Oh my God, Trap wins. Trap's got this. Trap's got this. He's killed way too many Mutas. Counterattack on the Lynx. Are we going into a second base trade? Oh my God, that's a lot more roaches than I thought. My bad, guys. That is a sick amount of roaches. Trap does not win this game at all. He loses this game. That's crazy, though. Holy shit, he made a lot of roaches. GG. Solar takes on Trap 2-1. That was a 6 series.